Hello everyone. Don't you just hate it when you record two videos and then you pull the card out but the camera's still on, then you put the card in, there's nothing there. But you don't give up, you just keep going. And this is what I like doing. I love doing this. This video is going to be about these pillars. Just love doing this so much, I want to do this, as a profession, just ancient mysteries, because we're here to live, we're here to experience things, to understand. We're curious, we want to know, and we're here to live, damn it, we're here to live. This is unbelievable. This is an Asokan pillar. The Asokan Empire in India was an amazing, unbelievable empire, about 300 BC, time of Buddha, Gautama Buddha, very prosperous, full of intellectuals, full of ancient wisdom. You could walk across the country, there were no thieves. Asokan pillars were everywhere, proclaiming his edicts. Even on the highways, they had fruit trees planted so that travellers could refresh themselves. It was a real paradise, I reckon, to live in India in those days. It was just incredible. And the Asokan time, it's full of this technology, such as the Barabar caves. I mean, was it built in the Asokan times, or did they simply scrawl their writing across it? Like this pillar, which is obviously very ancient, that the writing doesn't seem to match the pillar. If I made a pillar to put writing on, it would look like Hammurabi's pillar. It would be packed with writing. It wouldn't just have a few phrases on it, and then the rest is blank. Why is it blank? It's like the Great Pyramid. It's blank, 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 a little bit of writing, blank, 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 blank. What's going on? What is going on? I think they found these, or these were still standing up in their civilization for tens of thousands of years. India is probably the only ancient civilization which is still around from the hyper-civilization days. The only one. China is a surviving ancient civilization. It's still got the ancient customs from 2000, 3000 BC. There's still the same religion ongoing, the same ideas, the same philosophies. But it stops at the Ice Age because they're a bit further north. This civilization went on and on and on, and they remember the spaceships, they remember the interplanetary battles, the space travel, the super weapons. They remember. It's in their holy writings. This is the Asokan Iron Pillar. This could be tens of thousands of years old. This is the one popularized by Erich von Däniken. And if you look at it, the top is not rusty at all. I'm not sure how that's coming out. The bottom is rather brown. You see that? Because people were touching it, so they put a fence around it about 20 years ago. But look at that edge. Look, there's no gaping rusted hole or anything. It's only a little bit of surface corrosion. That's it. And it might even be only contaminants that are corroding. The sacrificial anode, if this is galvanized, is corroding. This was built by a super civilization. Do you think they built this by accident? They accidentally made something that it isn't going to rust? Impossible. Impossible. This could be a component or something, even from a machine. I'm not sure about the capital on top, but this could be a component from an ancient machine, tens of thousands of years old. It's from the last super civilization. And over here, a slightly polygonal wall. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy, a bit hard to tell what's going on there, but yeah, from the worldwide times of the worldwide civilization, possibly. That's a clue, you see. The rest of it is a mosque. This again, it could be. It does look a bit like Persepolis, but more of these pillars, you see. These are not necessarily the ancient ones from the super civilization days. These are simply just normal ancient pillars. This is the minaret next to the iron pillar. They were all emulating the Library of Alexandria. So this looks like the tower, the circular tower on top of the square tower, which was the lighthouse of Alexandria, sorry. And again, like an amazing ancient pillar. It even looks like it's poured concrete because there's bits flaking off, you know, as if it was concrete. You know, it could be ancient concrete. Next to an Asian version of a pyramid. So you have pyramid and obelisk just like Egypt. And these are mini stupas here surrounding the Great Stupa. So it's as if this was Giza, that's the Great Pyramid, and these are the minor pyramids around. And of course, look, this is so similar to that pillar I just showed you. And remember what this was? The Barabar Caves. The incredible Barabar Caves, which are obviously an ancient super civilization, but they say it's from the Asokan period. But it can't be because the writing doesn't match the splendor of the monument. And that is as clear as day. It's clear as anything. Again, this pillar, bizarre. And it's almost like a Rosetta Stone, or it's what the Persians did. Obviously, India multilingual. It's a huge it's an empire of countries, just like the Persian Empire was. Egypt also, it was an empire of languages. So yeah, put different languages on the pillars. But again, I'm not sure whether the people who did this did the pillar. That looks like it's been. Look, do you see that grain? No, I'm not sure if those aren't machine marks, or whether that's the grain of the marble or whatever it is. And that's an Asokan capital on top of a pillar. You can tell they're from this period if they have this on top. Something similar, stupa, almost like the model of an atom, really. That's Borobudur. Again, Borobudur. Polygonal walls. Now this was part of India's empire in Indonesia. They expanded into Indonesia. This is about 1000 AD. The Iron Pillar is also about 1000 AD. But that's when the writing on the pillar, I believe I believe that's when the writing of the pillar dates. That's when it was erected, about 1000 years ago. So it's not as old as the Asokan pillars, but it's still in the same style of just putting a bit of scroll on. It's actually a bit of poetry commemorating someone. The Asokan pillars, some of those ones, they have writing commemorating Chandragupta, who was one of the great kings of the period. And not to minimize in any way the splendor of this period, of course they could have built similar things, but it looks to me like they took really old monuments and recycled them by writing putting their own writing on top. And there we go. I think that must be Borobudur again. That was part of their wider empire. Again, I think this is the Iron Pillar. You see, it doesn't fit the pillar. You see, it's like those quote-unquote alien coffins in Egypt, which have some priest scrawled a few magic spells on them in really shaky, with a really shaky engraving tool, and it doesn't fit the splendor of the boxes. Same thing here. Those are from a super civilization. This is from a super civilization. I mean, how much evidence do you need? It's staring people right in the face. How much evidence do we need? They say a cannonball hit the Iron Pillar here. Could be. It's still in one piece. Looks pretty good to me. It doesn't want to rust away. It's not behaving like iron. It's behaving like almost like a kind of... But the reason we don't know what's going on, why it's not rusting, they say, oh, it's pure iron doesn't rust. Yeah, that's a theory. But I'm not convinced. It's got some anode or something, or it's electrically conductive with the atmosphere, and it's some super technology that they developed a long time ago where this thing doesn't rust. Now, did they just happen to make only one pillar that doesn't rust? No, they use this for their spaceships, for everything. They use components like this. They took away the lightweight components, used them for other things. This is very heavy, that's why they didn't move it. So that's the only one that survives. Historical photo, 1905, here's the ruins. It looks pretty much the same today. Just shows you that time stands still when you're made of indestructible iron. Again, the amazing pillars, yeah, concrete. Okay. Guys, thank you very much.